Hello and welcome to Channel's Book Club. I am Olakunle Kasumo. Our guest author today, Bimbo Oloyede, is a woman with a distinguished career in broadcast journalism. She began her career in broadcasting with what is now known as the Nigeria Television Authority, NTA, and became the first woman to cast the nationwide network news in 1976. After leaving the NTA, she co-founded Media International Limited, a radio and television production company, which has produced numerous award-winning television commercials. In 2002, she returned to the screens to anchor the news at 10 on Channels Television, and only retired recently after her 40th anniversary in broadcasting. She's the author of this book titled Strictly Speaking, Pronunciation Made Easy. It's a book you might describe as an adventurous journey into vocal gymnastics. Put simply, this is a book for anyone who wants to speak English better and pronounce English words more precisely. The book's foreword was written by Mr. John Momo, the CEO of the Channels Media Group. Bimbo Oloyede joins us today to explore her new book and discuss things related. Enjoy it. Mrs. Oloyede, nice to have you on Channels Book Club.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
Great to have you here. I'm a bit nervous.
Well, I find it odd, too, to be in this position because I'm usually sitting where you are. so be gentle.
Interviewing the legendary Bimbo Oloyede is not particularly easy.
Well, I don't know about legendary, but anyway, it's nice to be here.
Nice to have you here. 40 years of broadcasting. Is that what led you to this? Strictly speaking, you must have heard a lot over 4 decades and seen a lot over 4 decades.
Yes.
And then you probably decided it's time for people to start pronouncing things well.
Well, the thing is that over the years, I have to be honest that I have noticed that there's been a decline in the way English is spoken. Perhaps all over the world, but since we're in Nigeria, I would say particularly also in Nigeria. And as you said, you know, having worked in this business for this number of years, I think it's necessary for us to answer some of the questions in the first instance that I've been asked in the past, and then put something together that enables people to remember the sounds of English. Because many a time when I've trained people, they've asked me, oh, well, how are we going to remember these sounds? 6 months from now, it's fine, we're here, we're training, we're practicing, and we're getting it right. But 6 months down the line, what's going to happen? And so I thought that in putting my thoughts and this information together, that I should also record a CD so that they can listen whenever they think they're getting rusty. They can listen to it and remind themselves that this is actually the way English is supposed to sound. Yeah.
Okay, let's do a general overview for somebody out there who's wondering. Strictly speaking, pronunciation made easy. Let's do a general overview of this book. And then I've got a few questions on my mind for you.
Okay.
There are 6 chapters here, I can see. 7 chapters, rather.
Yes.
Pronunciation, vowels, consonants, stress, English expressions, Nigerian English. Practice makes perfect. Yes. Who is this for?
Well, it is for students in secondary schools and colleges. It is for broadcasters and the larger entertainment industry, actors, you know, etc. And then it's also for corporate citizens who realize the need to improve their spoken English and are wondering where exactly can they find something that they can use on the go. Training is good. You pick up a lot, but sometimes people don't have enough time. So this is an alternative. You can just slot this into your car and listen.
Yeah, I like that. I love the CD idea. I mean, perfect. I love the CD idea. How bad is it from where you sit or where you stand, you know, listening to people who speak in public? people like me and so many others. How bad is it in terms of pronunciation? How important is it to get this right?
Well, I think if we say that we are going to communicate in English, and English is, after all, Nigeria's
Primary language.
primary language. If we say that that is going to be our mode of communication, then I think it is important for us to get it right. How bad is it? Well, it depends on where you are, because people speak to a large extent being influenced by their various environments. So depending on where you are in the country, depending on the language that you speak as your primary language, it's going to determine to a large extent the way you speak English. So it's relative. When you say how bad is it, I think the answer is it is relative. But if I want to assess people in the public eye, and really that's so many people, a lot of people who probably never thought perhaps that they would be a director general, a minister, a commissioner, etc., who did not prepare for the public eye, you find they make quite a lot of mistakes. So they can buy this secretly and practice secretly, and then come out in public and wow the audience.
Okay. Now, while reading this, I mean, this is common, but then reading it, it dawned on me more that English is a language that is owned by so many people around the world. English is not owned by the English, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. And I say this because, first of all, there are so many languages that have been borrowed from to make up the
English language?
Yes, to make up the English language generally. And then the so-called owners of the language, how many of them actually speak the kind of English that we're talking about here? Because if you move from place to place within England and you go a little further afield and go to Wales, Scotland, Ireland, none of them are speaking the same kind of English.